Operation Barbarossa, the German invasion of the Soviet Union, started on Sunday, the 22nd of June 1941. 3.8 million soldiers, the largest invasion force in the history of warfare, invaded the Soviet Union along a 3,000-kilometer front line with more than 600,000 motor vehicles. It is a little-known fact, but this army was actually born in the Soviet Union in the 1920s. General Hans von Seeckt was a German military officer who served as Chief of Staff to August von Mackensen and was a central figure in planning the victories for Germany in the East during the First World War. During the years of the Weimar Republic, he was Chief of Staff for the Reichswehr and Commander-in-Chief of the German Army from 1920 until 1926. During this period, he engaged in the reorganization of the army and laid the foundation for doctrine, tactics, organization, and training of the future German army. The Treaty of Versailles greatly restricted the size of the German military and disbanded the general staff. It also prohibited the German army from the use of modern weapons. So it fell to Seeckt to organize the new Reichswehr within the strict restrictions imposed. Seeckt undertook multiple programs to get around these military limitations. He saw the Second Polish Republic as the core of the problems in the East and believed that its existence was incompatible with Germany's vital interests. He was in favor of an alliance with the Soviet Union, which, along with Germany, had also lost territory to Poland. After seeking encouraging signs from the newly established War Commissioner's Office of Leon Trotsky, Seeckt sent out his close friend Enver Pasha, one of the most powerful figures of the government of the Ottoman Empire, on a secret mission to Moscow to make contacts with the Soviets. In the summer of 1920, Pasha sent Seeckt a letter from Moscow asking for German arms deliveries to the Soviet Union, in exchange for which Trotsky promised to partition Poland with Germany. Seeckt regarded his informal alliance with the Soviet Union in practical rather than ideological terms. Both nations were weak at the end of the war and had external threats. The Treaty of Rapallo was an agreement signed on the 16th of April 1922 between the German Republic and the Soviet Russia, under which both renounced all territorial and financial claims against each other and opened friendly diplomatic relations. The treaty was negotiated by the Soviet Foreign Minister and the German Foreign Minister. The Treaty of Rapallo was a stunning surprise. British Prime Minister Lloyd George denounced the treaty vehemently. In Britain and France and the smaller nations in Europe, it became the symbol of a sinister German-Soviet conspiracy to control Europe. The treaty provided diplomatic cover for military cooperation, which was kept top secret, and allowed Germany to rebuild its military arsenal in the Soviet Union with the establishment of a fighter pilot school, a building of a chemical weapons plant, and 2 factories for the production of tanks and joint battlefield maneuvers. In return, Russian officers could be trained undercover in German military academies. The Panzerschule Kama, or the Kama Tank School, was a secret training facility for tank commanders operated by the Reichswehr near Kazan in the Soviet Union. Apart from training officers, the school served German companies like Krupp, Daimler and Rheinmetall as a development ground for new tank designs. Many of the officers training, instructing or visiting Kama later became high-ranking commanders in the Wehrmacht or in its Panzerwaffe, among them Walter Model, Wilhelm Ritter von Thoma, Heinz Guderian, and Josef Harpe. The second secret facility was the Kampffliegerschule Lipetsk, or the Lipetsk Fighter Pilot School, a secret training school for fighter pilots in the Soviet Union. The school, up until its closure, trained 120 fighter pilots, over 300 ground personnel, and 450 administrative and training staff, who in turn were able to serve as instructors when the Jew-German Luftwaffe or Air Force was formed in 1935. The facilities were also used to train Soviet pilots and to develop new bombing targeting methods. In December of 1932, Germany achieved being viewed as an equal at the Geneva Conference, making the secret school somewhat unnecessary. With the rise of the Nazis to power in January of 1933, the ideological gap between Germany and the Communist Soviet Union became too large, and the tank school and the fighter pilot school was closed in late 1933. Following the Nazi Party's rise to power, the schools were closed and German tank force and air force personnel were trained in Germany. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and to make sure you don't miss my future work, please make sure you are subscribed to my channel and press the bell notification button. Thank you and see you in the next video.